Have you ever wondered how deep the rabbit hole of corruption and power can go? This question took on a chilling reality as the world watched the unfolding of the Epstein case, a saga that tested the limits of public belief and trust in our society's power structures. The Epstein case was no ordinary scandal. It was a dark tale of power, privilege, and secret dealings that stretched across continents and infiltrated some of the highest echelons of power. The man at the center of it all, Jeffrey Epstein, was a financier and convicted sex offender who moved in circles that spanned royalty and politics, academia, and entertainment. But it was the infamous Epstein list that sent shockwaves across society. This list, a collection of names said to be implicated in Epstein's illicit activities, promised to unveil the depth and extent of the corruption. It was a list that, for many, held the potential to expose the hidden dark side of the world's elites. As the case unraveled, the list became a symbol of the corruption lurking beneath the surface of our society's power dynamics. It was a stark reminder of how the wealthy and influential can manipulate the systems that should protect the most vulnerable. The unveiling of the Epstein list was a moment of reckoning. It was a moment that challenged our perceptions of power, privilege, and justice. It was a moment that asked us, as a society, to confront the uncomfortable truth about the potential misuse of power. The anticipation was palpable. The world watched, waited, speculated. What big names would be revealed? What secrets would come to light? How far-reaching was this network of power and abuse? In the midst of the speculation and anticipation, one thing became clear. This was more than just a list. It was a mirror held up to society, reflecting the flaws and cracks in our systems of power and justice. As the world held its breath, the Epstein list was about to reveal some unexpected names. With bated breath, the world watched as the Epstein list revealed its secrets. The names read like a who's who of the elite, from business tycoons to high-ranking public figures, some of whom we've come to respect and admire. It was a chilling reminder that appearances can be deceiving, and that power, too often, hides dark secrets. The shockwaves rippled across the globe as these revelations came to light. Each name dropped was like a stone in a serene pond, sending ripples of disbelief, disappointment, and anger. The public, who had looked up to these figures, felt a sense of betrayal. The trust they had placed in these individuals was shattered, replaced with a bitter taste of disillusionment. Among the big names, a few were particularly surprising. These were individuals who had held positions of significant influence, who had been role models to many. Their names, now tarnished, were a stark reminder of the corruptive influence of power and privilege. But it wasn't just the names that shocked the world, it was the sheer number. The list was far longer than anyone had anticipated, hinting at a network of power and privilege that was more extensive and insidious than anyone had dared to imagine. This was a moment of reckoning, a time when the public had to face the uncomfortable truth that those they had admired were not who they seemed to be. It was a time of anger, of disappointment, but also of resolution. The public vowed not to let these revelations go unanswered, to demand justice for the victims, and to hold those responsible accountable. The fallout from these revelations was just beginning. The public's trust was shattered, but their response was even more powerful. The unveiling of the Epstein list sent shockwaves through the public. It was a brutal awakening to a reality many had suspected, but few had concrete evidence of. The names on the list were not just famous or influential. They were people in positions of power, people who were trusted to uphold justice and ensure safety. In the face of such an alarming revelation, the public didn't stay silent. They took to the streets, they took to social media, they took to every platform they could find to express their outrage, their disgust, and their demand for justice. Hashtags such as #JusticeForVictims and #EpsteinList became trending topics worldwide, garnering millions of interactions. People were not just sharing their thoughts, they were also sharing resources, information on how to support victims, and ways to hold those on the list accountable. The outcry was not limited to the digital world. Protests were held in cities across the globe. People from all walks of life came together, united in their call for justice. They were not just demanding punishment for those on the list, they were also calling for systemic changes, for measures that would prevent such atrocities from happening again. Public figures, celebrities, and influencers also joined the conversation. They used their platforms to amplify the voices of the victims and to put pressure on legal institutions. Calls for justice echoed from every corner, from every screen, from every megaphone. Yet the public's response was not confined to anger and demands for justice. there was also a profound sense of solidarity and compassion. Support networks sprang up, offering help to the victims and those affected by the revelations. People reached out to each other, offering comfort, understanding, and a shared determination to fight for justice. This was a moment of reckoning, a moment where the public rose up and said, "Enough is enough." It was a powerful display of unity and resolve, a testament to the strength of public sentiment and the power of collective action. The public had spoken, and they demanded justice. In the wake of the Epstein list, the public's moral compass was put to the test. A pivotal moment indeed, as society grappled with the stark reality of the depth and breadth of the corruption and exploitation that had been lurking beneath the surface. This wasn't just about a list of names. It was about a mirror held up to society, reflecting the darkest corners of power and privilege. It was about the collective struggle of a society wrestling with a profound sense of disillusionment and the burning desire for justice. For many, it was a sobering realization that those in positions of influence and authority, individuals entrusted with shaping our world, could be implicated in such heinous acts. It was a harsh awakening to the grim reality that power does not equate to morality, and that justice is not always served. Yet, amidst the disillusionment, arose a powerful call for change. A call for justice, for accountability, and for a reevaluation of the very structures that allowed such atrocities to occur. A call for a society that values morality over power, integrity over influence, and justice over privilege. The Epstein list forced society to confront its own morality, to question the values it holds dear, and to challenge the systems that allowed such exploitation to thrive. It sparked a collective introspection, a questioning of what we, as a society, stand for, and what we are willing to accept. It was a jarring reminder that morality is not a given, but a choice. A choice that each individual, each institution, and each society must consciously make. A choice that determines not just the kind of world we live in, but the kind of world we leave behind. The Epstein list didn't just reveal names, it revealed a crisis of morality. The Epstein news didn't just shake the present, it threatened to shape the future. As we delve into the potential implications this scandal could have on the 2024 elections, it's important to consider the gravity of the situation. The Epstein news has the potential to disrupt political landscapes and perhaps redefine voter perceptions. In the grand chessboard of politics, credibility and trustworthiness are key. The Epstein scandal, with its revelations and accusations, could potentially damage the reputations of those linked to it. This, in turn, could influence voters' decisions, especially if a candidate's name appears on the infamous Epstein list. Consider the public's response. The Epstein news has already caused a storm of public outrage and disappointment. This palpable sentiment may translate into votes, steering the electorate away from candidates associated with the scandal. The impact could be significant, potentially tipping the scales in a tightly contested race. The Epstein news also forces us to confront the larger issues at play. It's a stark reminder of the pervasive influence of power and wealth, and how it can sometimes be misused. This realization could spur a demand for greater transparency and accountability in our leaders, influencing campaign narratives and policy debates in the run-up to the elections. But it's not just about the candidates. The scandal could also motivate voters to be more discerning, more critical. The Epstein news could act as a catalyst, inspiring citizens to take a more active role in the democratic process, to hold their leaders to account. As we look ahead to the 2024 elections, it's clear that the Epstein scandal is more than just a headline. It's a call to action, a demand for change, a reminder of the importance of integrity and leadership. The Epstein news has indeed shaken the present, but its real impact may be seen in the future. As the 2024 elections approach, the Epstein list continues to cast a long shadow. The Epstein list was just the beginning. Now the real investigation begins. The unveiling of the Epstein list marked a pivotal moment, but it's the ensuing investigation that will truly shape the narrative. The list, as shocking as it is just a piece of the puzzle. The real challenge lies in uncovering the full extent of the actions and their implications. In the following weeks and months, investigators will be tirelessly scrutinizing every name and every connection. They'll be piecing together a web of relationships, transactions, and actions, all in their quest for the truth. This is not just about holding those involved accountable. It's about shedding light on a dark corner of our society and reaffirming our collective commitment to justice. But let's not forget, these investigations are complex and time-consuming. They involve sifting through mountains of evidence, conducting countless interviews, and navigating legal intricacies. It's a painstaking process, but a necessary one. And with such high-profile names potentially involved, the pressure to get it right is immense. For those on the list, the coming months will be filled with uncertainty. Some may face legal consequences, while others may find their reputations irreparably damaged. And as these investigations unfold, we can expect more revelations, more shockwaves, and more challenges to our understanding of power and privilege. At the heart of it all, though, is the pursuit of truth. The truth about Epstein, the truth about those on his list, and the truth about the systems and societal structures that allowed such egregious actions to occur. This pursuit will not be easy, but it is a journey we must undertake. As we wait for justice to be served, the Epstein case serves as a stark reminder of power, corruption, and the pursuit of truth. The Epstein list has changed the world as we know it. What started as a mere revelation soon spiraled into a saga that has shaken the very foundations of our society. This list, brimming with high-profile names, has not only unveiled the ugly underbelly of power and privilege, but it has also sparked a global conversation about justice, morality, and the importance of truth. This video has journeyed through the unveiling of the list, the big names associated with it, and the widespread response that followed. The shockwaves from this revelation have reached far and wide, stirring public sentiment and sparking an outpouring of reactions. We've delved into the impact on public morality, a significant facet of this event's aftermath. The Epstein news has led many to question the societal structures that allowed such exploitation and abuse to occur, undetected and unchallenged. It has been a stark reminder of the urgent need for transparency and accountability in every sphere of society. The looming 2024 elections are not immune to the Epstein news either. As we've discussed, the ripple effects of this case could potentially influence the political landscape, swaying public opinion and casting a long shadow over the forthcoming electoral process. The ongoing investigation into the Epstein case, as we've explored, continues to uncover more about this dark chapter. With new developments surfacing regularly, the quest for justice remains at the forefront of public consciousness. In conclusion, the Epstein case has transcended the realm of a single event. It has become a symbol of a broader societal issue, a stark reminder of the distance we still need to cover in our pursuit of justice and truth. It has underscored the importance of vigilance and the need for a collective commitment to ensure that such abuse of power doesn't go unchecked. As we move forward, let the Epstein case be a reminder that no one is above the law, and that truth always finds a way to surface.